Hey, family of millionaires. Welcome back to Millionaire Success Story. Today, we have a very special guest. She has recently been nominated for Woman of the Year 2024 through 2025 school year. Her major is psychology. She has a leadership role in the Proverbs 31 Bible study, and I can say myself is a virtuous woman. Her impact around campus is amazing, and she brings joy to so many people's heart. Please welcome my very good friend, Lizzz. Yay! Thank you so much for being
Thank you
here
for
and
having
doing
me.
the
Bye.
doing the being on the channel.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get started. So the first thing I have, we're gonna play a game,
Okay.
and the game is called How to Get a Millionaire. And this game is meant to be a little bit nosy and ask
Okay.
personal questions. And the questions vary from would you rather, this or that, who is the best, and or never have I ever. Every now and then I may ask you to elaborate, but it's not going to be nothing too crazy.
Okay.
And then the goal here is to get to know you a little bit deeper with your likes, dislikes. I also have a better understanding of your thought process. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Never have I ever had an imaginary friend.
I don't think I ever have. I mean, I remember there was like one time where I would just like pretend I was a teacher. But those
Oh,
were
that's a
imaginary
good,
students, not
yeah.
imaginary friends.
But no, that counts.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
counts. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. You can have somebody that thinks about their future and like, yeah, we're speaking it into existence. Because yeah, okay. Never have I ever cried during a movie.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm a very like, I don't want to say sappy, but like I'm so emotional, or at least in tune with my emotions that even a movie would make me cry. And it wouldn't even be like a sad movie.
Yeah.
Like if something, like if the mom like reunites with her daughter, like
So beautiful.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
But
can
yeah, I
agree
do.
with that because I be crying at the most simple stuff, but it's
Literally.
like it's
So
so
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never have I ever worn matching outfits with my family.
Like matching colors or like complete fit.
Outfits.
Nah.
Never?
Colors is the most. Yeah.
Really? Never have I ever blamed someone for something I did.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah. My siblings? Oh yeah. My friends? Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but probably like jokingly, not like crazy.
Never have I ever regifted something.
Oh, I feel like that's crazy.
You've never done that?
Well, I got the $10 gift card. I mean the $20 gift card.
That doesn't count.
Oh.
Because the gift card, like, that doesn't count. Like, when I say regift, like something that you don't like, and so you give it to somebody else for
Like
them, and you think that they will appreciate it more than you would.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done that.
Wow. Do you receive bad gifts?
I feel like no. Like
that's amazing. Because I've done it. I regifted a couple things.
I don't think I would give it away. I would just like keep it and not do anything with it if I don't like it.
But that's just taking up extra space that you unnecessarily.
So give it away.
Yeah. To somebody that would appreciate it.
That does make sense.
Yeah. Never have I ever cooked an entire 4-course meal.
A full course meal or a 4-course?
No, the number 4.
No.
Do you cook?
I do.
Okay.
But no.
Okay.
I don't eat that much.
You don't eat that much?
No.
Oh. So like a salad, and then you have your entree?
No.
And then you have your dessert? You don't eat like that?
I don't eat that much to be cooking that much. And even if I do cook for like my sister, like my sister is the only person I cook for. Even if I do cook for like my sister, it's never that much. I know she's not gonna eat that much.
Okay. Interesting. Never have I ever quit a job.
Oh, no. No.
You never quit a job?
No. Either the job just ended or yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
Y'all, we're talking to the woman of the year, so I can't believe that. Like literally,
no.
Every job that I've had, I'm no longer there because I quit.
Wow. I feel like if I was to get a job, it has to be something I like doing. So me quitting just
I'm just not learning
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, that's the end of our game of how to get a millionaire. I'm speaking into existence that we'll all be millionaires. So that's why I named it How to Get a Millionaire. Um, thank you for playing the game. We're gonna
Of
move
course.
on to the questions. So the first question I have is very simple, but it can be complex.
Okay.
How are you?
Wow. That's a
Yeah.
little introduction for the question.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm good. I'm doing better, honestly, a lot better than I was yesterday, last
Mm.
week. Um, yeah, I think I feel like that's a deep question because like how are you like wow. But no. I'm just grateful. I'm blessed because some people didn't wake up this morning and I did.
Mhm.
So it's like just for that, everything that I'm going through isn't even that bad just because I woke up this morning. Yeah, learning to have a different perspective about
Amen to
everything in
that.
life.
Yes. I like that answer. It's a great answer. How did you see your life would be growing up versus how it is now?
I've always known like I was destined for greatness. I've
Mm.
known it. Like my mother literally spoken to me all the time, like the little girl with the big name. And I think I just turned it into the little girl with the big God. And
Come on. Come on.
because literally like before well now I'm like so big on God, but before it was like I was big on God. Like everybody that knew me knew like I went to church and stuff, but that was the thing. Like I just went to church. And so
Mm.
I wasn't really like connected with God. So I knew like I was destined for greatness because I was a very smart, intellectual little girl. Everybody was older than me, but I was in every single room.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm about to do some good things. So let me just start a foundation. And then now it's like, now I have God behind me. So
Wow.
it's like, He is the firm foundation. Like, He
Wow.
is the chief cornerstone.
Mm.
And um, yeah, I just feel like there's so much, I'm so much greater because I have somebody backing me that is the greatest.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
love that. So speaking of that little girl with the big name,
Mhm.
now being, I don't want to say big girl, but now being an older girl with
Yeah,
the same exact name with the big name and now
yeah.
having like somebody greater behind you that makes you great. What is something you would tell your younger self?
Ah, hmm. I would say keep going. Um, keep looking for that greatness. Like keep looking for just you in all of these situations because at the end of the day, like I'm still that person or that little girl that I was. It's just now with more experience
Mm.
and with more age to my name. So it's like I'm able to accomplish more now because of the foundation that I set when I was younger. So just keep going, like be inspired, even if like you're gonna go. I mean, you're gonna go through some things that are gonna break you, but just continue to rise above. Continue to understand like your knowledge, what you acquire, the wisdom that you have. Like that's supernatural, and it's not because of you. So it's like it doesn't make sense for you to stop that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. What brings you joy?
Aha. I love this question. God brings me joy. Jesus Christ brings me joy. Like literally, joy is like for me to be full, like
Mm.
just smiling and just to be like at peace. That is joy to me. And I've just been in the Bible more and talking to God more and just like it's Good Friday today and this is the day that Jesus died. So literally like I've just been more reflective about Jesus dying, his sacrifice being not only for the atonement of my sins but also so that I'm able to access eternity again with God and so that I'm able to access my salvation. Like just the fact that God loves me so much no matter like what I'm going through or even in what I'm going through, he still loves me. Even in the things that I may do that may, cause me to feel like he wouldn't love me or I'm not deserving of his love, he still loves me. And just that fact is like, you allow me to wake up every morning because you have a plan for me. And that brings me joy.
Yeah.
That's it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So over the years, how do you believe your mindset has helped or harmed your development into adulthood? Or young adult?
Yeah. I've always had a mindset of like a go-getter. So literally, and I feel like it was so good that I was brought up the way that I was, like raised the way that I was, because I was the youngest in every room. Like even in the classrooms, I was the youngest because I did start school early and I skipped the grade. So it was like I didn't see anybody um like me or doing what I was doing. And I was very like I was very involved in my communities, literally wherever I went. I was a singer, I was a performer, a dancer. I loved speaking, I loved math, I loved things that people don't usually love doing. So it was just like it was different for me. And I was just like, you know what? Like I'm going to I know I'm going to become something great because why else would I have all of these different skills and all of these different like abilities that not everybody has. Um so yeah, my mindset from like very little was just like get what I got to get done, do what I have to do. And I don't know where exactly I'm going, but I know like with all these skills, with these abilities, I'm going to be able to get somewhere. So it's like just keep working hard, and I think that has allowed me to develop into the woman that I or the young woman that I am today, because literally like everything that I'm doing now I like I enjoy. I've taught myself like even the boring things out of that is going to be something greater, like it's going to be worthwhile. And I think if I didn't have that mindset, I could have easily, I mean, I still procrastinate, like that's I just feel like that's something that people go through regardless. But um I've taught myself like no, if I hadn't had the mindset that I had, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am. Like I wouldn't be attending this college. I wouldn't be woman of the year. I wouldn't, like it's just a lot of things that I wouldn't be doing because it's hard. Honestly, it's hard, but everything is worth it. So the mindset is just like encouragement to keep going and keep pursuing greatness.
Yeah. And I just want to piggyback off of what you said, but we're talking about you because,
Go ahead.
like, literally, whenever you're going through whatever you're going through, you always push through to the next like phase and the next level. And so that's like inspiring for me to have a friend like you to
No.
look up to in that sense where you don't just stay where you are.
Yeah.
Like you continue to push forward and know that there's a better side to it or more to come, and it's not just about temporary situations, but you're thinking about like the future and your external your internal, like what God has placed on the inside of you and giving you the power to speak over your situations and have dominion and authority to talk over certain things. So yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to transition into like the money management questions. And so when you made your decision to come to Lincoln, what made you make that decision, and did money play a role in your decision making process compared to like other schools that you may have could have gone to?
Okay. So my college process, literally I applied to all HBCUs. Like I told myself I'm going to a black school. I love black excellence. I'm about to be around black women and men of valor, and I don't want anything less. Like I set my standard pretty high, and I knew like my grades were really high. I was involved in a lot of things. So I was like, I don't even care about the acceptance letter. Like I'm going to just do it. And I did it, and I applied to 10. I couldn't even name them, but I applied to 10 HBCUs. And the thing about an HBCU, it's expensive. It is expensive. And the crazy thing is, I applied to Lincoln last because nobody knows what Lincoln is.
No, literally, literally, I did not know
Lincoln is
until
way out of the way.
I
Nobody
had no
knows what
idea.
that is. And one of my counselors, her name's Mimi. Shout out Mimi. She actually went to Lincoln, and she's a Delta. But she did tell me, she was telling me about Lincoln one day, literally one day when I was in the college office. And I was just like, Because the thing is, like, my parents didn't want me to go far already. And everywhere that I picked was kind of far because there was no close HBCU to New York. And yeah, she's talking about Lincoln, and she's like, "Oh, it's in Pennsylvania. It's not that far." So I searched it up, and I was like, "Okay, like I could convince my mom because I mean, first of all, I applied to all HBCUs, so I was going to an HBCU. You know, like PWI was not, or any other school was not in the. It wasn't in the options. But yeah, I was like, if I can convince my mom that I like we're good with this school, I can go to the school. Like, if I could convince her, then I'm going. Like, there was nothing stopping me. So I convinced her, and it was a long process. But I'm glad I think it was just my father's help, but I'm glad I convinced her. And the thing about money, so first I picked the college, and then applied, got the letter, and all of that, and so I was like, okay, I'm going here now. How do I worry about, money and stuff? And literally, I don't even remember the timeline. I think it was like a week later, I got this letter, and they were like, congratulations, like, you're getting a president's scholarship.
You got the president's?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And so I read the letter, and I was kind of confused. It was just like a section, because they be sending random college letters.
Yeah.
But this one was from Lincoln, after I applied to Lincoln. So I read the letter, and I'm just like, it said, we're offering you so and so amount per semester, per school year. And it was like, this is the total cost.
Wait, I just want y'all to know, the President's Scholarship is the highest scholarship that you can get at Lincoln. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Mind you, this was not like this had nothing to do with my decision to come Lincoln. And so I feel like when I got that, I was like, I showed it to my mom. I was like, what does this mean? Like, I think I know what it means, but I'm not really sure. And she's like, oh yeah, like they're giving you the money, but just make sure. So I go to my counselor, and my college counselor, and I'm like, what does this mean? And she said, oh my gosh, congratulations. And I'm like, like what? Like, and she said, you got a full ride. I'm just like, wow. That's so amazing. Literally, like, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed because literally I feel like that was God. I believe that was God, because literally I had to convince my mother. Like, I wasn't even worried about the price. I was worried about convincing her that I wanted to go to an HBCU. And then I had like this whole PowerPoint. It was a whole thing, but it was literally a whole thing. I sat my parents down, and I was like, listen, I want to go here. And I made and they was like, yeah, okay. So yeah. And then like a week later, the letter came in, I got a full ride, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But I mean, I still have to pay, like, it's nothing crazy though. It's just like change. Like, I'm owing $14 right now.
Oh, girl, we're talking about
it's literally
$14.
Change. Like, so when it comes to like money, about college, I'm not even stressing for real. But I do have a job on campus. So it's like literally extra change in my pocket.
I just want to know, like, why do you have $14 sitting in your account? Like,
first of all, what's it called? Fines. I live in.
Oh, you get fined in your building?
I live in one of the worst buildings on campus. Yeah. I don't even say like one of the worst, because like there are worse, but like it is. Well, all of the dorms are bad.
I like my
in their own way. Well, your dorm not bad, but my dorm. And I live on the co-ed floor. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like it's my fault. It's just like random things, like the side door
be open.
Like, or like the bathroom is bad. So it's just like they be doing like $25, like stuff like that.
That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So do you feel like you were prepared going into college for the real world? Like, I don't know if you have any financial responsibilities. I mean, you don't have college loans to be worried about from high school courseworks or high school people that you may have connected with.
I think I was. I went to a charter school. I feel like that plays a really major part in preparation for like the future. Yeah, we had literally, I came to college and I was surprised that the workload wasn't as heavy as it was in high school or all my life. Well, all my life is a drag, but like in high school at least. Yeah. Yeah, so I was prepared. Like, I was doing too much in my classes. And I mean, I was getting good grades, but I think it did prepare me well. Financially, I was set because like I didn't really have to worry about that. But then like they do have requirements for me to keep. Yeah, and I didn't know at first like how to because it just said what the requirements were, but it didn't say like what I was supposed to do. So I was like I had to find that on my own. But other than that, it's just like I was able to join clubs, to do all these things, knowing like I'm backed by the school. So I can do whatever I want for real. But not whatever I want, but like whatever I want for real.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is important to share, but Liz and I met on the step team.
Can we do that?
We can, because we got it. We got them. We got them
in this building.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we met on the step team freshman year, and going back to like joining clubs and stuff. Joining clubs, if you do decide to go to HBCU or if you are at HBCU, like it's not free to join clubs. Like you have to pay dues. You have to pay.
Nobody says that though.
Yeah, nobody ever says that. Yeah, you have to pay to be a part of that club.
I forgot about that.
Even with like when you have performances, you have to pay to get outfits. You have to pay for the shoes. You have to pay for what else? The dues.
Yeah.
If we want to have like a game night, uniforms. If we want to have like a game night, like you have to pay for that. Like chip in to buy. Stuff. It's not free. So that's something to keep in mind when it comes to what you want to do, like your campus involvement. So budget it into your finances, because you don't want to be caught off guard when it comes to that. But okay, this is not even a question for you, but I feel like you answered this.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna ask it. How has gaining a full ride to school relieved you as a college student?
That wasn't for me?
No, it wasn't for you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. When we talk about college, like I think one of the first things that comes to mind is the expenses. And college tuition is crazy depending on where you want to go, because you have to figure out like if you're going out of state, you got to pay out of state tuition. If you're in state tuition. Like college is expensive. And that's why people say it's a scam, but I don't think it's a scam.
I don't think so
either. I feel like it's a really important part of development in life, in period. Like from my freshman year, the way I've grown till now is crazy. But getting a full ride, I've just been so blessed in that. I don't even know how that happened, but it has relieved me, because I don't really have to worry about finance like that. Like I have 4 other siblings. 3 of them are in college and 1 in high school, almost about to get into college soon. And it's like just that on my parents is a lot. Plus we're first generation. So it's just like everything is new to my parents. I mean, they did go to college. And I believe they graduated. But it's like now you have a whole generation in college. Like almost all your kids are in college. And I know that's tough on them. So just the fact that I was able to like work so hard to obtain the scholarship without even like, I'm pretty sure like I applied for scholarships, but I wasn't expecting that. So just the fact that I was able to get that, it was just like relieving, in that it was relieving for them. But scholarships in themselves are important. Like literally, if you can get a scholarship for every loan that you take out, and not even take out a loan, like that would be the best thing that you could do for yourself in the future. Because honestly, like the thing about loans, it's a loan. That is a borrowed promise, and you have to pay that back eventually,
plus interest.
And it's like people do not pay that back until after college, like when they're living their own lives. They're like you be seeing people that aren't able to pay their loans back until like they have a secure job, like until they're able to pay that back. And it's like sometimes like 10 years after they graduated. So it's like, do you want that responsibility after college, after the 4 years that you're spending in college? Some people go to beyond, but after those 4 years of college, do you still want to be able like be paying for that? Or if you knew like I can apply for this scholarship, or go to this community and get this scholarship or this one. Like, there's so many different areas that you can get a scholarship. Yes, you got to write an essay for some of them, but just do the essay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
ChatGPT has been my best friend. Not even gonna lie. Like, I don't got it. I have gotten so many opportunities by using ChatGPT, and of course, like, I personalize it. But at the most now, the only time, like, I only spend like 5 minutes, maybe 10, on a scholarship or on an opportunity. Y'all, we working smarter, not harder, because we have so much other stuff that we could be doing. And honestly, like, before ChatGPT even came out, because, well, I'm pretty sure it was out when I was in high school, but nobody was really using it until like recently. I made applying for scholarships my part-time job, and like, it has benefited me. Like, I'm serious, because like, it has benefited me, because basically I'm on a full ride. Like, I haven't had to pay anything since I've been here. But it took some work for me to do that. Like, I didn't just get here just because somebody decided they want to give me some money. No, like, I literally
asked for it.
Yeah, I had to go and put in the work. But now, like, we have so many resources that it doesn't make sense for you not to use them and be successful and really do what you want to do. And I don't know why, like, it's on my mind to say this, like, if you're concerned about going to college because of money, that honestly should not be a concern, because there's so many. I think I put this in another one of my, or I was looking it up. Millions of dollars go to waste because people don't apply. Literally, they have money set aside to give students. So applying is the first step. And yeah, that shouldn't be a reason why you don't go to college. And that's not to be harsh, but it's the reality of the reality of the reality.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So next question. Do you feel, what are some of the things that you feel you do well or you can work on when it comes to money management? Not necessarily of like responsibilities, but stuff that you just like maybe stuff that you just maybe like just freely spend your money on, like food or maybe clothes or shopping or something like that.
Okay. I think the thing that I do well is, or that a positive is that I have a savings account. And so I have a checking and a savings. And whenever I get paid or whenever I get money of any type, I don't have like a percent I divide it, but I usually take a chunk of that and put it into my savings immediately because I know I'm going to spend it. And so when I have whatever amount that I put into my savings with my checkings, I feel like I'm just I usually look at like how often I get paid, if I want to get anything, because sometimes I just don't even be needing stuff. I just get it to get it. And I mean, one thing about me, like, I like nice things. Like, I like, even if I don't need something, if it looks nice and I know I got it like that at the moment, I'm gonna get it because one day I'm gonna need it. But if I know like I'm like short on money, or I'm not going to get paid as often as I did before, then a lot more is going to go into savings. And my checkings, I mean, I know how much I have, but I'm not going to spend it. Or if I want food, I'm just like, well, I know I have food at home, or I could get food at the cafe if I'm at school, or just using like what I'm given or my resources so that I don't have to use my own money. And it gets to the point, like, if it's food, if I absolutely cannot find another way to get food, then I'm gonna have to buy food. But I try to avoid. I mean, there was a point where I was literally like buying food every day. And then it got to a point where I'm just like, well, it's in our tuition, like our meal plan. We pay for that. And even though I'm not directly paying for that, somebody paying for it. So I might as well use it. So I was in the CAF more. And yeah.
And also, it's like, make a sacrifice too, because in the CAF, it may not always be stuff that you want. But at the end of the day, like, we're thinking about our futures here. We're not just thinking about the present moment. So sometimes you may have to go a little hungry, because I mean, you may not be hungry, but may not be satisfied at the same time.
Also, like the little things, like I would be getting like snacks from the vending machine and stuff, but those add up. Like literally those add up. And then also on there'd be like campus parties that you have to pay for. I just stopped going. Well, I didn't stop going because my pockets were hurting. I stopped going because that was no longer how I was living.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's a great thing because even when parties do happen on campus, I don't know until I see people outside. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, is today Thursday? If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like just because I left that type of living, my pockets are no longer screaming as much as they were. Like every
Wow.
little thing
Yeah.
you have to pay.
Yeah.
Every little thing you gotta pay. And it's like, it's not, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Paying for the same thing. No.
Yeah. Tell me about a time where your heart has changed the dynamic of a situation. Like, have you ever had, you were going in one direction, but your heart led you to another direction? Because we make decisions not only with our head, but we add a little bit of compassion to our final choice. So, when have you implemented mind over matter in your life?
You said we make decisions.
We make decisions not only with our head, like the way we're feeling.
Right.
Well, not necessarily the way we're feeling, but only with our head, not only with logic, but how we think, but we add compassion to our final choice.
Wow. What was the question? That was really deep.
The question was, have you ever had a time where your heart changed the direction of where life was taking you?
Oh, that's a deep question. Yes. I think it was honestly the turning point of my life. Mm-hmm. And it didn't even happen too long ago, literally last semester by. But yeah, I was just in a point where I was doing a lot and I was doing like so much, but I loved everything that I was doing. But it just got to a point where it was like killing me, like literally harming me. My mental, my emotional, my spiritual being was already dead, but everything. And to me, it's just like, I love doing this. Like, it was both. I mean, it was already normal to me because I've been doing it since, like, I was raised, or I came up doing it. You know, it was like, it was just a normal thing for me. But then I guess the compassion comes in where it's like, but you have a future. Like, you literally have greater things ahead of you. Are you willing to continue to sacrifice yourself for something that you've been doing your whole life? And the answer was no. Because literally I was at like a low, like everything was just so bad. Everything, not everything, but like if you could possibly think of like anything that could go bad or that could go wrong, like that happened. And it was just so devastating. And then I don't even know the day that I decided, but I was like, I'm just gonna, like, I can't be doing this no more. Like, I'm just gonna change, or I'm just gonna stop doing what I'm doing. And it wasn't like a night or the night that it happened. It was a very gradual process. But do you want me to get specific? I feel like I'm speaking very generally.
I do want you to get specific.
So I was on the step team, and I was the co-captain at first, and then they made me captain. And it was just a lot going on. Like, there were a lot of disagreements, and I just felt like I was putting so much energy in, and it wasn't being reciprocated. And that took a lot. That drained me crazily. And it got to a point where I was eating, drinking, sleeping, like, step. And I just like idolized step to the point where like my education was slipping. And literally I just kept telling myself, like, when you go for your degree, when you walk across that stage on your degree, it's not gonna say captain of the step team. It's gonna say Elizabeth Michael graduated from Lincoln University. Or we could also have this scenario where you don't walk, and somebody's gonna ask you, why didn't you graduate? Oh, because I'm captain of the step team. Like, you see the two different. And I was just thinking, like, nah, I can't live like this. Like, I was getting these migraines every single day. I wouldn't eat. I was just in my bed until step practice, and I went every day, and I'm killing myself, and the energy's not being reciprocated. So I was just like, all right, like this is going to be a tough thing, but I feel like I need to walk away from this team. Mm-hmm. And it's not because of anything that the team is doing. It's not because of anything that I am or am not doing. It's just for the mere fact of I have a future and I need to preserve myself for the future. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like it was God telling me to walk away, because the thing about idolizing something, God is very jealous. And he does not ever want you to put something in his position. So when you, I mean, God is a gentleman too. Like he did it very gently. But things like, I'm dying. So he's like, whenever you're ready, day after day, whenever you're ready. It was months. And it finally came to a day when I was just like, all right, like I just can't keep living like this. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, God, like help me. Literally help me. Like I just want to live. And he allowed me to take a step back from that. And then that step back turned into me leaving. And I was so like, at first it was very hard. It was actually really hard because I love stepping. I love performing. I love being on stage. But then it was like step or life. And I chose life. And I think that was just me having compassion on myself, on the people that look up to me, even the people on the step team. Like, you don't have to put your all into something, especially something that you've been doing for all your life. Like I've been stepping, performing for literally all my life up to now. That's why I was doing it in college, because I came out of high school doing it. And I want to be the best in everything that I do, like the best, absolute best in everything that I do. But it's like I was doing a lot. And if I'm trying to be the best in everything, I'm going to be the best in nothing. Like literally nothing is going to come out of that. Yeah. So yeah, it hurt, but it was so much relief for me at the end of the day, because now I'm the closest to God that I've ever been. Now I can still work on a lot, but I'm able to trust God more because he's seated on his seat instead of what I wanted in his seat. Like he's at the center of my life, in control, and I can trust him with that.
Okay, so Lizzz is starting a podcast, and whenever it comes out, of course, I'll be promoting it on my channel, so y'all go check that out. But it goes back to the conversation we was having yesterday about obedience, like being obedient. And after you was obedient and stepped out of the step team. Yeah, no pun intended. Yeah, stepped out of the step team. It's kind of like how Abraham was to what's the name? Lot. How Abraham was to Lot. When Lot left his life, God opened up his eyes to see the promises that he had for him and like the land that he had given him. So it's similar to that story. That's what it was reminding me of as you were speaking. The conversation we had yesterday on obedience, and obedience is definitely better than sacrifice, because when you try to sacrifice something, you never get what you're really looking for. So yeah. Say it. Yeah. So my last question for you is, when it's all said and done, when the lights go off, the cameras go off, there's no action going on in your life, who are you?
I love this question so much. Bye. I'd love to think that I am God's daughter. I feel like that's where I find my identity in now, very confidently and boldly, because literally I want to think I'm a very genuine person. Like everything, I'm not a robot, first of all. Like everything that I'm able to accomplish, able to get, I've worked for. Like people be like I'm gonna give God all the honor, and I do. But the statement that has been like speaking to me recently, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called.
Yeah.
And that qualification doesn't start one day. That qualification starts from birth.
Yeah.
And I feel like God has been qualifying me from birth.
Wow.
So I give God honor and I give him glory because he's so good. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be who I am. But that qualification that he has laid on my life has allowed me to get to where I am, has allowed me to answer the call.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to think that I'm God's daughter, like when nobody's watching me, because I'm very pure and intentional in everything that I do. And the thing about being a Christian is you're being Christ-like. And the thing about Christ, like, he literally went to go pray for hours. Like the Bible says, until like there was literally sweat like drenching him, like until like he was sweating blood. That's how he prayed. And I'm not, I don't like, I'm not trying to be like that, like literally, but like I'm trying to be like that mentally.
Yeah.
Like everything that I'm doing is to please God. I really had to unlearn being a people pleaser. Like I'm a worship leader. So every time that I led work, like God really changed my whole mindset about life, about how I see everything. Literally before, when I led worship, I would look to the congregation's like their faces, and by that I would decide whether my worship was pleasing and acceptable. But now I don't even look to the congregation. Like, yeah, I'd be looking at them when I speak to them, but worship is for God. Like, I look to God when I worship, because it's like, God, I'm saying that you are mighty, you are holy. And so if I'm communicating to the crowd, God is mighty, God is holy, who is the worship really for? Right? So yeah, like literally my mindset has changed about that. Like when I worship, my prayer is that my worship, yes, it leads people into worshiping God as well, but that it's like a fragrance that fills the throne room of God and allows him to smile at me. Because at the end of the day, the reward that I want is when I'm in heaven in eternity with my Father, rather than just the reward of saying, or people coming to me and saying, oh, you sing good, oh, you know how to do this. Because I know how to do it. I don't need reassurance that I know, because God qualified me.
Yeah.
So of course I'm able to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, God is my life pleasing and acceptable to you? And that is all that matters to me, honestly. Wow. Like after every Bible study that I do, or whenever I speak, people's like, oh my goodness, like you have so much wisdom. I know, like I mean, I love that. No, not even like to be cocky or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that you are able to acknowledge that. And I love that, we can recognize people for their strengths and stuff like that. But it's like, at the end of the day, like, that's cool. And I really thank you guys for honoring me and stuff, but that's not the goal. And the moment that I make that the goal, I have like already told God to take me at that moment, because then my heart is no longer bowed to him. So literally when everything is shut, when every, like, the cameras cut, people stop watching me, like when I'm by myself in my room, my heart's posture is bowed. Like literally my head is on the floor. And I'm just like, God, I thank you, because without you I wouldn't be here. Without you I am nothing. Without you, like, I wouldn't even be sane right now. And I was like talking to my friends about how I'm so grateful that I'm still sane. Because literally, if any other person were to be going through what I'm going through now, what I've been through for the past couple of months, either they would be in a mental health hospital, like no joke, mental health hospital, psych ward, dead, just not in the position that I am. So the fact that I still have joy and all of that is crazy to me. But there's only one reason that I do, and that's God. So I'm God's daughter. Yeah. Literally. I'm God's daughter.
I love that answer. I love that for you. I love your lifestyle. I'm just so blessed to be your friend. Like, I'm like, my heart is just very full to have Elizabeth Michael in my life.
Oh my God.
You had already said it. So I want to reassure that that's who God called you to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this
thank you.
video.
Thank you. Like, I'm gonna come on your channel, because I tell you this all the time, but I really appreciate you. Like, I really appreciate that you're doing this for people like me who don't know about money management. Like, I'm like, I came up here and said I put money in my savings. That's not every week. Like, I am horrible when it comes to money management, but I really thank you, because like, you're helping people. And even if like you don't see the numbers, or you don't see something that you're expecting to see, like, you're still helping people. And I believe that through this sacrifice of like taking time to do these interviews with people and like all of these things, God is going to reward you.
Thank you.
In like plenty folds. And what you started with, like this is like, I mean, it's already big, but it's gonna be way bigger. Like you're only going up from here. And I don't know who else I'm speaking for, but I really like I know you'd be like, you love being my friend, but I love being your friend.
Oh.
Like vibe. Like you're literally my sister. What is a friend?
What is a friend?
You are my sister at this point.
Yeah.
I really do love you. But yeah, thank you for having me.
No
this
problem.
means a lot. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.